just do some technique first. I guess it's okay if I practice my other rep. I mean, after all, it has to be performed sooner than this one. Yeah, I'll just practice some other rep first. Maybe I could relearn some old etudes. It'll help with the new piece. Yeah. Well, it's dinner time. I'll just start tomorrow. It'll be fine. Hope you like that little intro. Let's dive right in. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Nathalie. I'm a musician and lately I'm having a lot of fun with thinking of new intros for you guys, so I hope you like the last one. This week we have another requested video and it is a very cool subject. Someone asked, like, what do you do if you play a piece by one of the great composers but you actually feel like you don't really like the way this composer writes? And it's a very valid question because, you know, we're all human beings and we don't necessarily like all the music that is ever written, even if it's from a great composer. I have this nice French saying behind me on the blackboard which says "Des goûts et des couleurs, on ne discute pas," which is the same in French as it is in Dutch or in English. When it comes to the matters of taste or color, we just don't discuss because it's such a very personal thing. And sometimes as a musician, whether you're an amateur or a professional, you might have to play a piece by a composer you don't really like. So what do you do in that case? Here are a couple of my suggestions and let's dive right in. So my first tip is do your research on both the composer but also on the piece, because doing your research will get you more knowledge, it will give you some perspective, it will bring you context, which then leads to understanding, and that leads to some sort of bond. And it's this bond that we need, even if it's like more of a scientific one, because if we play music that we absolutely adore, like from composers that we love so much, then there is already this emotional bond and it's easy to play this music. It's easy to enjoy and we just have a lot of fun deciphering and then performing it for people. But if we don't have this emotional connection, then we kind of need this more scientific approach. I know scientific is not the word that I need to use now, but you know, with lack of a better one. Here we go. This bond will hopefully make it easier for you to understand what is going on in the music, understand why this composer write in this certain way, why the dynamics would be this way, or why the climax would suddenly be stopped, or whatever is bothering you in this music. And then hopefully it will make it easier for you to really put your heart and soul into it like you do with other music. Maybe on a personal note, I mean, it's totally fine to not like music of certain composers, even if they are considered some of the great composers of classical music. I mean, I also have a couple of those that I kind of avoid playing, like Brahms. It's just his music, I understand, is beautiful, but when I have to play it, I don't know, it kind of doesn't resonate as much with me as other composers do, and that's okay. I have definitely learned more about him, and I have learned to play his music better than I did before, but it's totally okay to not really be a Brahms expert. There are lots of those, so totally fine. But doing your research will hopefully make it a little bit better to find a connection to this particular composer. Second tip is to change your approach. Even if you play a piece that you don't necessarily feel a connection to, you are still developing your skill, you're still becoming a better musician, even if it's just technique-wise, or if it's sound-making-wise, or if it's kind of seeing a harmonic progression that you've never seen before. There will always be things that you are learning. And in the very worst case is that you're learning that you never want to play this composer again. Totally okay, but just kind of bite through the apple and really change your way of approaching this music. Because of course we want to play the music that just, you know, makes us feel all these emotions, and it's easy to convince an audience that we just love this music and that they might love it too. But if you don't, you can still learn so much, and if you feel like that you're learning stuff, then that will keep you motivated to play this piece. So change your approach. Kind of, it's again a kind of a thing of changing your perspective. But I have definitely found in the past that this has helped me work through a number of compositions that otherwise I would have just given up. Third tip, give it time, if you have time. You might be practicing for a competition that is, you know, that has a deadline in 2 months, then yes, of course, you will not have the time to do this. But if you do, then maybe just leave the piece alone for a couple of months, maybe a couple of years, and revisit it and see if maybe you find a better connection to this particular piece and maybe the composer in general. I know that as a kid, I did not like the music of Prokofiev at all, and now I really, really enjoy it. And I sometimes just grab one of his pieces to kind of warm up and sight read a little bit and then dive into my actual work. Life is a journey constantly. We are constantly evolving, our tastes are evolving, and you never know, in a couple of years you might really start to like this composer. Maybe in a couple of years I'm going to love Brahms, who knows? So I don't know, if you do have the opportunity, I would maybe suggest to just wait a little bit and see if that helps. And if not, then, well, you have the first 2 steps and one more step that can hopefully help you really dive into this composition. Last tip, reward yourself. I am all about rewarding myself when I am doing or checking off my to-do list. Oftentimes there are things on it that I just know they have to be done and I don't necessarily enjoy them, but if I know that there will be a reward after, I'm like, you know, motivated to do it. So set yourself a timeline or a deadline, kind of break it up in little pieces, maybe do 16 bars today and then 16 tomorrow, and then try and do the 32 the day after, or maybe start from the back, whatever the hell works for you. If you can reward yourself for sticking to your plan and, you know, kind of reward your discipline, then hopefully these good vibes will be enough to find their way through to the composition itself, and hopefully you will enjoy the process more. It's really all about the process and kind of changing your way of looking at music, because of course it's the most fun if we have an emotional connection, but you know, this is real life and we don't always have that. So yeah, rewarding yourself, that definitely is something that helps me all the time, whether it is with just cleaning the room or practicing a piece that I don't necessarily like. So these are my 4 tips. I hope they help you. I hope you can find the strength and the courage to really dive into this composition and work on it, and hopefully maybe start to like this composer even a little bit more. Let me know if that is the case for you. I'm really, really curious. And if you like this video, do give it a thumbs up. That would be amazing. Subscribe to the channel if you want to. There will be new videos every Friday, and next week there will be a music video. So that'll be fun. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Stay tuned for next videos, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.